Hello, Young Road here, and once again, welcome to my channel. Well, spring is only around the corner, and for those who have not been doing any winter riding, the bikes will be coming out over the next sort of few weeks. I'd just like to really talk about accidents and some of the best ways to avoid them. So, I'm going to play the intro, stay tuned, and speak to you in a bit. Let's talk about cornering. I mean, let's be honest, cornering is probably one of the most enjoyable things we do on a bike. Nothing like, getting the bike in low and feeling it, go around that bend, and you've executed it in a good, safe manner. But obviously, it is one of the things where things can go wrong. So when we approach a bend or a corner, we should adjust our road position. We should adjust our speed. We must always, it's absolutely vital to make sure that we can stop in the distance we can see in front of us. So if we're going into a bend a little bit too quick, just imagine around the other side of the bend where we can't see. Everything around there is out of sight. But there could be road debris, oil in the road, a broken down car, or queuing cars. And obviously we won't see these cars until we're round the bend, and if we're going too quickly, it's too late to stop. It's even too late to take any sort of evasive action. So there's something we've got to get right before we go into the bend. By controlling the speed and road position, we can corner safely. Always remember, slower in and faster out. Up here we can see we've got a sharp left-hand bend, so now I'm starting to slow down, adjust my road position into position 3. I can't see what's round, so I'm still slowing down. I'm not putting any more power on. Going to lean it in nice and low here, and once again, look, the road's starting to open up now. I can see it's safe and back on the power. I mean, bearing in mind at this point I'm on holiday touring, I've got my wife on the back, and we've got full luggage on. I don't intend to get round bends as fast as I can. I just intend to get round them as safely as I can. If I want to get round a bend fast, I'll go to a racetrack, do a track day where I've got no oncoming traffic. And we can't see what's coming round that bend. There could be a car broke down just round that bend. Somebody fell off a push bike. Any hazard. Round the bend. The bend's now opening up. Back on the power. Speeding. The limit is the maximum allowed speed. It is not a target to reach. Things like traffic, road conditions, road surfaces, weather will all determine is it safe to reach that limit. Speed can be exciting, acceleration is a great feeling, but we've got to make sure the road conditions are suitable. The faster you go, it will make it harder for you to stop, should you ever need to do so quickly. Okay, national speed limit here, let's just give it a bit of a blast. More than enough power. Make sure we have excellent use of rear and general observations. We need to know what's around us all the time to keep us safe. We've both got mirrors on a bike, but guess what? They only work if we look at them. So every so often, just give a quick glance in your mirrors, just to make sure you know what's around you. We're coming on the road and we're approaching a parked car. We can see it in the distance. Now's the time to check your mirrors, see what's around you. Then obviously we need to check our right shoulder, look into our blind spot before we pull out past that parked car. At least this way, if there is somebody in our blind spot, we've still got time to stop before we run into the back of the parked vehicle. It all makes common sense. Imagine approaching a junction or a crossroads with lights. All of a sudden we get the green light. That doesn't mean it's okay to just carry on. Green means go, it's safe to do so. Now, if in the scenario there's a vehicle coming from your left or your right who has jumped their red light, they may just not have seen it. They're going to hit you splat on, you know. Not a good situation. So a quick look to your left and to your right, just to make sure it's safe, then proceed. Okay, so I'm going to turn, we indicate, check over my shoulder, move over to the position 3. I've already got to slow down because obviously there's other cars turning, nothing's oncoming. Last check over my shoulder and then off we go. The lack of hazard perception, you know, can cause quite a few accidents. Now, I'm not going to be harping on about hazard perception again. I've actually done a separate video on that, so please check that one out. But I'm just referring to the fact that by not looking ahead where we're going, having good hazard perception will put at greater risk. A common incident I seem to find at roundabouts, and that's where you're approaching a roundabout, there's a vehicle in front of you. You're both slowing down, because obviously we need to check to the right if anything's coming. Now obviously you're on a fast accelerating motorbike, you check to your right, oh yeah, we've got a gap there, there's enough room, so you put the power on to go. Sadly, the car in front with slow acceleration, or a driver who's not very confident, will think, no, I'm not going to go at this opportunity, I'm going to wait till the next gap. In those situations you will feel the car before you see it, as you actually run into the back of it. So, you know, the important thing is, yes, check to your right, you check for a hazard there, but then there's still a hazard in front of you, that car. So before you make progress, eyes forward and look ahead. Filtering, or lane splitting as it's called in the USA. Now here in the UK it's actually perfectly legal, but bear in mind, if someone switches lane and collides with you, a lot of insurance companies now class this as a 50-50 blame. So, you know, you have to be careful. If you filter sensibly, it's fine. But if it is seen as sort of reckless or anything like that, you could get pulled over. Something else to bear in mind. I sometimes filter, but I always do it with care, looking as far down the road as I can. And limit my speed, keep it nice and steady. Alright, I might be doing it a bit slow, you know, but at least I'm still moving. Whereas, you know, the cars are stationary. Here on YouTube, you know, there's so many accident and near-miss videos uploaded with bikers filtering. Some of these guys put themselves in so much danger by filtering far too fast and going through a gap which is far too narrow. I won't mention any names, but they probably do it to get more views. They tend to end up in a, you know, verbal abuse, which always makes more people watch the videos, I suppose. I have to admit that there is an L-plate rider, I won't mention his name, but he's had more near misses in the few years he's been riding than I've had in all my riding life. I just can't see that these riders are that unlucky. You know, I'd never filter at 30 mile an hour when other traffic is doing 20, and then try and squeeze my bike down the road with a gap of about an inch or so either side as they do. It only takes a car to move a couple of inches left or right and it will cause you major problems. Personally, I just don't trust a car to drive that straight, so I like to leave plenty of gap, keep my speed down and make it as safe as I possibly can. It's like in this situation here. Yeah, I could have filtered, but is it really worth it? There's only a couple of cars in front, and do I really want to squeeze down a gap between a HGV lorry and a van? I could have go down the right hand side and filtered there, but then that lane becomes right turn only. So actually it's just best to be patient and stay put. When I first passed my test, I went and bought a 1000cc Kawasaki, which was a very big, fast bike for a new rider. I didn't really have it because of the power or the speed, but my neighbour was selling it. It was a good deal, and with me being over 6'2", I do prefer a larger bike. When I had it, my first ride on it, I was a bit nervous to start off with, to say the least. And at one point, on a nice clear dual carriageway, I accelerated hard, and it just went ballistic. Also, it seemed, compared to the 500cc bike I passed my test on just a few days before. The following week, I went out most evenings for a ride and thought, yeah, got this sus, no problems. How wrong was I? When I first went out with my neighbour and his friends that had been riding for many years, I got the shock of my life. We went down this road which was sort of favoured by nearly all the local bikers. It's got quite a lot of quite tight twisties on it. It's a lovely country route. And I had the fastest bike, so I was really surprised when I just couldn't keep up with any of them. Especially on the bends, I was just sort of dropping behind. On a bit of a straight in between the bends, I could just about catch up because of the power I had. But I nearly messed up every bend. I'm still amazed, to be honest. I never even came off. This made me realise that trying to keep up was making me to try and ride above my ability, and this just seemed very dangerous. I still rode with these guys for a while after, but I just advised them, I'll ride at my own pace. I'll meet you all at the next coffee stop, and they can get the drinks in ready for when I get there. Well, I do hope you found some of the information in this video interesting. If so, please tick. Subscribe would be nice, it's free to do so. And please leave any comments below. So once again, thanks for watching. Ride safely, and of course, bye for now.